You probably know Pythagoras as a triangle guy. The only reasons he's still relevant is because students around the world are forced to memorize his formula, like it's a goddamn generational curse. It's the one piece of useless information that survives the absolute purge to your brain cells after high school, right next to the fact that the mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell, and that time you accidentally call your third grade teacher mom. And consider moving to a different continent. What people don't talk about enough is that this man was deeply unhinged, not in a ha, he's so quirky way, more than like, what the hell is he allowed to be near children or sharp objects way? Because Pythagoras didn't just do math, he turned math into a lifestyle, then a belief system, and then a crazy cult. Pythagoras lived in ancient Greece, which explains a lot. It was a time where philosophy, science, and poor, unfiltered vibes were all the same thing. There was no peer review. There was just some guy standing on a rock, shouting nonsense with enough confidence that people stopped throwing rocks at him for 5 minutes. And Pythagoras fully believed the universe was made of numbers. Not symbolically. He didn't think, oh, numbers are a great way to describe things. He thought numbers were the literal physical building blocks of the universe. He was basically the first guy to claim we live in a simulation, but instead of cool matrix code, it was just endless, boring ass geometry. It's just the ancient equivalent of saying, trust me, bro, it's all algorithms, while staring at a piece of wood for 6 hours.
One eternity later.
He was a lunatic. He gave numbers personalities too. This is basically astrology for people who hate fun and love being pedantic. Number one, he w- it was the master, the alpha, the pure ego. And number two, the feminine. And because ancient Greece was incredibly sexist, and Pythagoras was probably a nightmare at dinner parties. For number five, it was marriage. It was 2 plus 3. Yeah, it was really clear, right? Number 10 was the holiest of the holiest. Well, if Pythagoras saw a group of 10 people, he wouldn't see a crowd. He would see God and probably stop vibrating. Well, he also believed in reincarnation too, or metempsychosis, which is just a fancy word for soul recycling. So, according to Dungeons, one saw a man beating a dog and screamed, "Oh, stop! I recognize the voice of a friend, and that dog's up." Now, imagine being that guy and just trying to get your dog to stop banging his shoes. And the most famous mathematician in the world spins at you, shouting that your dog is actually Steve from counting. Well, Pythagoras was actually out here acting like a Victorian ghost hunter, but with more triangles. He basically thought every animal you met was just a dead relative in the fursuit. But at some point, Pythagoras decided this knowledge was too powerful for normies. So it's just like Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter movies. He started a secret society called the Pythagoreans. Do you want to join this group? Well, you had to give up all your money, your clothes, and your dignity. Well, everything you own belonged to the commune. And it was basically a Silicon Valley startup, but with even less leap and more weird ropes. The worst part? The 5 year silence. The new members weren't allowed to speak for 5 years. 5 years of sitting there listening to Pythagoras ramble about the sacredness of the isosceles triangle without being able to say, "Hey, can you pass this water?" Or, I think this quote is kind of weird. That's not self discipline. That's a hostage situation. Then we get to the rules. If you think your boss is a micromanager, try living with Pythagoras. The most famous rule: no beans. Ever. Beans were the enemies of the state. Why? Because he was insane. Well, the first theory, he thought he thought beans look like humans' embryos. So basically, if you are consuming beans, you're eating babies. The theory two, he thought they were hollow portals for souls, and souls travel from heavens to earth by this portal. The third one, the most likely, he thought thoughts where your soul literally leaking out from atoms in a disrespectful way. So imagine being a genius who discovered the secrets of geometry, but you're also paralyzed with fear that someone bought a chickpea in the room. Well, if Pythagorean saw a burrito, they would probably act like they just seen a life grenade. Well, the code also believed the universe was rational. It filled with clean fractions. And a guy named Hippasus discovered irrational numbers. Imagine in a sunny day, you're calculating the hypotenuse of this triangle. You put in numbers, 1 square plus 1 square equal 2. And the hypotenuse for this number is square root of 2. And this ruined everything. It meant that the universe was messy and didn't fit into Pythagoras' neat little boxes. And Hippasus basically found a glitch in the matrix. The Pythagoreans reacted with the Asian version of, well, just remove him from the group chat. And when he leaked the secret, he didn't just kick him out. They allegedly took him out on a boat trip and then drowned him. So they literally murdered a guy over a decimal point that wouldn't stop. That's a level of petty that would make a Twitter mob look like a Peace Corps. Well, his death is one of the weirdest things in history. Well, some legends say that Pythagoras was being chased by an angry mob with swords when he was running for his life, and the freedom was right there in front of his face. But unfortunately, he hit a massive field of beans. So guess what? He stopped. He looked at the beans. He looked at the guys with the swords, and he decided, you know what? I'd rather be stabbed 30 times than touch a freaking legume. And that was it. He died because he was too committed to his no bean ban. Well, historians say this is probably a fake story, but the fact that everyone in the ancient world was like, well, yeah, that sounds like something that idiot would do. Tells you everything. So, what's the takeaway here? Pythagoras, he changed math forever, influenced music to space travel, and he was also a lunatic too. And this is a reminder that intelligence doesn't mean you are tomorrow. You can be a literal genius and still think your uncle is a poodle, or that a kidney bean is the devil. So next time you do math and you want to cry, well, just remember, the guy who invented this will probably try to fight you for your lunch.